welcome back to the channel. This is Kranzer, and in this video I wanted to talk about the updated Arthas changes and build. Now, Arthas just recently in the last patch got some updates that made him more of a tank, less of a bruiser. And what we're gonna do is go over the guide or the build that I've been using myself in Hero League matches. Currently I'm ranked at Platinum 1, and I'm at my my promo game. Well, I've been at my promo game for like 5 games, because I've just been like losing a game, winning a game kind of deal. But every game I play as Arthas, I've been doing pretty well in. He has a very good role now in taking care of the double bruiser kind of comps and melee heavy comps in general. So let's talk about it, right? At level 1, I go with Rhyme most of the time. If there's enough heroes on the enemy team to suggest having that physical armor build up, because 60% reduction with 3 charges capacity, that's a lot of damage reduction. So I would go with Rhyme in most cases. If you don't want Rhyme and you want increased functionality of your W, then I would go with Frost Presence for the 3 quest rewards that you can get there. But generally, I stick with Rhyme myself. So we'll go with that at level 1. Level 4, I've seen multiple different picks on this. Death Lord seems to be popular for people who like to use them as a bruiser and go more with the a Q-oriented build. But what I do, especially in these games where there's like a melee assassin and a bruiser and a tank, or 2 bruisers or a bruiser and a tank, anything where there's multiple melee people on their team, I get Icy Talons. And I guess that could include Karazim as well. And the reason why is that attack speed boost synergizes really well with his level 7 pick that I go with. So at first, when the attack speed starts ramping up, you don't really notice it, but then it's kind of like it just ramps up like really quickly out of the blue in a one-on-one confrontation. If you got more than one person in your face, it ramps up really quick. So what that lets us do is get out here, and it slows attack speed with your E. It also slows movement speed, so it becomes really hard to run away from you if they don't have a disengage ability. Like you saw, Sonya wasn't even able to move really. So that's what that's going to do, is give us the attack speed boost over time. And it's made it to where I win duels, like one-on-one confrontations against heroes like Ragnaros. I beat the living crap out of a Karazim, who I think was doing what was he doing? What build was it? Like the Insight DPS kind of build. And I just completely dominated him. Especially after I hit level 7. At level 7 we pick up Rune Tap. So you see my auto attack rate now. So that's a pretty fast auto attack rate. I mean, granted I'm not hitting super hard, but all we're trying to do is get these Rune Tap procs, right? So at that high attack speed, our Rune Taps become a lot more frequent, making you just that much more survivable and near impossible to kill in a one-on-one situation against somebody that's walking into your face. There are some heroes that can still dominate, but it's not many. Level 10, Summon Syndragosa is the one I usually go with. It has a lot of functionality. It's a good damage on the ult, as well as shutting down the functionality of buildings that you hit. Also, of course, the slow effect for people that try to walk through it. You can set up a lot of good ganks with it. So I think it's the superior ult. Now, in situations where you have to have them, I could have hit her with my passive and killed her. But you see how much damage I can do just chasing somebody like that. It's pretty impressive. So level 10, go with Summon Syndragosa generally. There's nothing wrong with the other alt, the Army of the Dead. It actually has a lot of sustain application, especially at level 20 if you take the upgrade to it. But to me, Summon Sindragosa is just better.
Enemy slain.
Now this one, I don't normally get Shattered Armor. It's a good talent, I would say, especially if you have some people that can take advantage of the damage increase effect. I don't pick up Frost Strike because we already have a slow effect permanently on our E. So I get Biting Cold to get the stacking damage increase on our E, which just makes you that much harder to ignore. And the harder you are to ignore, the better. So that way that you can keep people off your
that was rather entertaining.
See, even with the keep shooting me, I was still able to attack at a reasonable speed because of the attack speed increase at level 4 from Icy Talons. So level 16, we want. This one's a toss-up really. I will usually go with Remorseless Winter just to focus more on locking people down in place. Because once they're in there for like a second and a half, they get rooted. So I don't have to blow my root right away.
A killing blow.
Yeah, she can't even get out of that.
Your efforts are futile.
It can only happen once every 10 seconds, so it's got limitations on the usage.
Killing spree.
The Death Coil one can also be very useful if you're getting beat down a lot. Like, if you're the only melee on your team, you're getting focus fired a lot because, whatever reason, team's not following up or what have you. You could also go with the Death Coil ability. She can't do nothing. All she do is run.
Well done.
Granted, it's not a person, so they're not doing, what they should be. But, so I would go either Remorseless Winter or Embrace Death. Usually I go with Remorseless Winter if the teams have a lot of melee people that I can just get into the middle of them all, like they're all clumped up, and just start randomly rooting them and slowing their attack speeds, making them completely unviable in the fight. But Embrace Death right now would be good.
Death comes for you.
So like, I'll just stand over here inside the keep damage here. I'm gonna lose my attack speed.
Bow before your king.
Now, it should be noted that your rhyme does not count against keep attacks. It's only hero attacks. So don't go in there thinking you can tank a keep with those stacks. But now that we have taken some damage, what Embrace Death does is it deals more damage and heals more the lower your current HP up to 100% increase. So you can essentially double your Q. So that hit for 800 on that Q. This one hit for less because the percentage is lowered. So the more damaged you are, yeah, see, 700. So the more damaged you are, the more it can help you, making it really strong to help build you back up after you've been taken down by the enemy team. And it also works. It also works vice versa for damage increases. So if you wanted to hit somebody with a little bit bigger of a nuke, which is Q, that's also viable. And of course, it should go without mentioning that synergizes with Death Lord, and it also synergizes with Immortal Coil. Because the Immortal Coil, like if you wanted to be really spiky in your health gains, with I guess on a 6-second cooldown, it's not really that bad either. But if you wanted to rely more on your Q for healing, you could go with that. And what that would do is whenever you heal yourself, like every time you hit Q, it always heals you. Anytime you target yourself with Q, it'll heal you for 50% more. And that will also stack with Embrace Death, so you could heal yourself. I'm guessing it's additive, 150% increased healing, which could I would guess
This
at
world
see,
will
the thing says I'm level 10, but I know I'm not level 10. So this to 20.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
So it'd be 720,
all shall suffer.
800, 900, easy, and easy 900 heal if it had 100%. Let me just try that out real quick. I'm curious now. This doesn't matter. This one, okay. So let's try this out. Let's get hurt.
Your efforts
See what kind of heal I can get. Okay. Well, 1300, almost 1400 heal. That's a pretty sizable heal on a 6-second cooldown. So yeah, that's actually pretty viable for self-sustain as well. And like I said, anytime you hit your Q on somebody, period, it'll heal you. If I healed for, well, I don't know if I actually hit it. 700 heal, even though I use it as a nuke. So that's actually pretty strong too. If you wanted to go with the death coil, these 3 talents instead of the ones I went with at Rune Tap and Icy Talons, that's also viable. You won't have the increased attack speed, but it rather than having heals that are constant, and especially when you get into a melee fight where you're using the Icy Talons to really increase your attack speed. Even in situations like that, aside from that, the burst healing effect is really strong. It's still healing me for almost 1,000 damage at really high HP. So, yeah, that's pretty good too. I think I might have just come across something else that I want to try in some games. So this would definitely be, like, I still like the idea of using Icy Talons at 4, Rune Tap at 7, because Rune Tap makes it also really easy to do camps. But at the same time, this does a pretty good chunk of damage too. So I guess you're just up in the air as to if you want to be more mana consuming or not, because you already kind of spend a lot of mana keeping Frozen Tempest and Howling Blasting people and stuff. So I usually try to avoid using Death Coil as much as possible to maintain mana. But this build will also be pretty strong as a decent nuke build. Let me get this orb here. Shoot you in the face. So she has like a spell shield or some junk on. But anyway, and at our level 20 talent, I've been picking up the, I mean, this isn't bad, this movement speed increase here, but I've been picking up Absolute Zero for the doubled range. I'm gonna, I was kind of hoping that would hit harder. That's okay. I'll get you this time.
A killing blow.
Anti-magic shell. If you've been fighting against mages the entire game, trying to survive against their onslaught of damage, because Arthas' kit up to that point doesn't really offer a lot of defense against magic. So I would suggest, if you're running against a Li Ming, a Gul'dan, hell, even a Falstad, you know, if he's going mage build. If you're running against enough magic damage to where it's significant, I guess even Greymane with his ability poke and stuff like that, because he's not all auto attacks. Anti-magic shell is pretty strong. Now the sad thing is it's only 3 seconds, but if you're getting focus fired by a lot of people, they're all pumping all their abilities into you. Those 3 seconds that you're immune to all the damage, and then you heal for 25% of the damage that is prevented, can make you an absolute god as far as survivability goes. So anti-magic shell is definitely viable. I usually don't get Death Advance, because once you get on somebody's face anyway, they usually don't get away, you know? Like, you have to let them walk away for them to get away. Like, she's just sitting here, can't even move.
Well done.
She can't even move. So, I would avoid Death's Advance generally and go with either Anti-Magic Shell or Absolute Zero. But in this case, we'll pick up the Anti-Magic Shell. Not that there's anybody here to really worry about that on. But just look at this healing, right? So I'm just standing inside the keep's damage. Oh, it's out of ammo. 1100 heal. That's not bad either. So yeah, two ways to go with those talents then, right? Just to recap real quick, and then I'm gonna kill it because the video is already 15 minutes. Jesus. So Icy Talons, Rune Tap, and then Remorseless Winter or Embrace Death for the one build, and then Death Lord, Immortal Coil, and then Embrace Death for the other one. The other talents you can leave alone. I mean, the other two there aren't going to do you much good. Biting Cold, getting more damage is always good. For Present Tennis, I mean. Just makes your clearing more powerful. So that's helpful. But yeah, that's the Arthas build. Now, I've been playing him quite a bit in Hero League, like I said. And really strong. It's really strong. I'm kind of surprised that they let him go live as powerful as he is. But we have to take advantage of it while we can. I'd highly recommend using him in game. 2 warrior combinations. You know, if the enemy team picks up Arthas, and like, cause you know, if they pick up Arthas, they're generally going to pick up another warrior on top of that, right? That's what you do. You double up. So if the enemy team picks up on Arthas as a pick before you pick, just assume they're going to pick up at least 1 or 2 other melees on their team. In that case, that makes Arthas really good. Because anytime they want to get in there and do damage to your back line, your support, you'll have your auto attack speed reduction up, your roots, and then you can just kind of laugh at them as they attempt to run past you like she's trying to do, and you just keep smacking them in the face, and then, you know,
Well,
GG.
that was rather entertaining.
That's it. Give Arthas a try if you haven't tried him. Check out the build that I talked about, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.